CS415 group 45, and here's our final project. So for a final project we made a game on the theme of campus. So it's called Urbana Warfare, and here's how it looks like. So it is a multiplayer LAN game which took a lot of time and effort to implement because we need to add a lot of networking features such as the LAN party and also make sure that replication and socketing works perfectly. So here's our game, and I hope you enjoy it. Hi, so now I'm going to talk about the functioning of our game. I'm going to demonstrate how we start and end the game and how the game works overall, the flow. So as we mentioned before, our game is a multiplayer game. So the hosting and joining session and the multiplayer network interfaces was one of the core features that we had to implement. So right now I have two screens. I'm going to show you how one player can host the game and the other will join the game. So the host will first start off by clicking host session to create a game. And once they do that, they create a game lobby and they load into the game. So as you can see over here, the first player has joined the game. You can start playing. Next, I'm going to hit pause, which is the P button over here. And so you can see our pause menu where we can quite intuitively pause and resume the game. So now to show how the second player might join the game, I'm going to pause and go to the second screen. So in our second screen, we hit join session. So what happens is that over here we can hit refresh sessions, and here you can see that a game has been hosted, and here's the ID of the game, and it shows that there's 1 out of 5 players, and there's the ping. Now if we hit join, what happens is that the second player is now able to join into the same game as the first player. So here is the second player, and as you can see over here, there's the first player. And if we switch our screens, I'm just going to hit pause over here and switch to the screen, and see that the second player has now joined. So this proves that our entire multiplayer LAN interface has been implemented correctly and our game is functioning. I'm now going to show the game end. So our end condition currently is that once we kills you win. So now I'm going to go ahead and shoot this player until so you can see that shooting the player takes damage and there's this explosion sound effect, and now damage has been dealt. When we pause and show you quickly on the other screen that damage has been taken and our health has been lowered. So finally, let's go and kill this player. So now that we have killed this player, assume the player respawns and the number of kills on the other screen is shown as 1. So finally, I'm just really quickly demonstrate that killing the player. Oh, I seem to be out of ammo, but now if I hit R, I'm restarting and player to death again. And so now the player is dead and the player should respawn again. So I'm just gonna go to that player screen, and after I kill the player 3 times, I get the same game end and it shows that the player has won. So now I'm going to demonstrate some of the high and medium priority features that we sought out to achieve according to our technical design document. So now I'm just going to start a game in one of our screens. So this is the game that is being hosted. So now we load into the game. I'm just going to make this full screen here. And so all of our features like just walk and run have been implemented perfectly. We also have if you press C, then the player is able to crouch, and our player goes lower. Pressing the left mouse button shoots, and we also have a crosshair in the middle of the screen. Next, I'll talk about the other high priority feature, which is our health. So the player health has been implemented as seen in the bottom left of the screen, and we also going to demonstrate that player health actually works. And I'm just going to join a new session from another machine. So now that I join over here, I should be able to show the other high priority features. Just now that we've loaded in, what we can do is shoot, and as we shoot, the player takes damage. So we can see that health bar has been implemented on top and it's visible. You can see our enemy's health above the enemy's head. So next, I'll also talk about the kill count and points. So our score is based on the number of kills that we get. So as I kill the enemy, you can see our kill count is incremented by 1. So our scoring system is fine. And on the bottom right of the screen, you can also see that ammo has been implemented perfectly where the number of bullets left has been shown. Hitting the R mouse button enables reload, where a new magazine is now loaded in ammunition. Next, I'll show you that hitting tab, you can see the scoreboard show up, which is one of our other priority features where you can see the score that player 1 and player 2 have scored. So that's a wrap on the UI elements that were high priority. Then I've already demonstrated that enemy damage works perfectly, as well as the menus. So if you hit pause, you see the pause menu where you can either resume the game or leave the game. Now I'm just going to resume the game to highlight everything. Our next high priority features are, of course, the visual elements of the game, which I will explain in the next part. I'm going to now talk about some of the visual and audio elements in this game. So as soon as we open up the screen, you can hear the Alma Mater theme play, which signifies our gaming on the theme of Urbana Warfare, a campus theme FPS. You can see over here the number of kills and also the health and ammo shown as UI elements. So now let's jump into the game and see some of the visual and audio elements. So you can also hear that once we start the game, we have this intense FPS music playing in the background. So that's one of the audio elements that we added to add to the intensity. On the top right, you can see that we've implemented the mini map, which is one of the low priority features that we aim to implement. And it shows a top view of the player and some other elements of the gameplay. Next, you can see here's the map that we created. So it's a really detailed map that we found online, and it was very bare bones. And what we did was to go and build this entire scene from scratch, including the buildings. You can see that over here we have some walls with the Illinois logo decal, which ties back into the theme of making it Illinois based. Next, you can see that here are some barricades, which are in the colors of orange and blue, which is also on the theme of campus. Next, I'll talk about some of the UI elements, such as the HUD for player stats. So on the top, you can see that we have a logo for each of the statistics that we wanted to show. In the bottom left, we have health, ammo, and the kills. And if we shoot at any object, you can see that we have the bullet marks on these objects, which is another low priority feature that we wanted to incorporate. We also have these decals over here, which took some time to implement and add to the visual effects of this game. Next, every time we shoot, there's also the muzzle effect of explosion, and there are some other visual elements, such as if you press tab, a scoreboard shows up with the score for each of the players, and pressing shift shows our inventory with the updated ammo stats. Next, I'll talk a bit about lighting. So we have this natural light coming from the top of the screen in the form of the sun, and it reflects off each of the objects and forms some really nice lighting effects. We also have audio effects for each of the we have audio effects for all the sounds that the gun makes, such as shooting, and as well as reloading. Also has the sound of a gun cocking. So here's all the visual and audio elements for our game. Thank you.